This video is meant for education only. For medical advice, talk to your doctor. Tomorrow morning, millions of adults over 50 will sit down for breakfast believing they're making a healthy choice. Most of them won't realize that one or two small habits, not one dramatic mistake, may quietly shape how they feel for the rest of the day. Linda Carter had followed the same breakfast routine for nearly 20 years. Toast, cereal, orange juice, and coffee felt comforting because they were familiar. She never imagined that such ordinary choices could deserve another thoughtful look. Like many people, Linda wasn't searching for a miracle diet. She simply wanted steady energy, enjoyable mornings, and confidence that the habits she'd built over the years were still supporting her health instead of quietly working against it. This documentary isn't about chasing perfection or avoiding every favorite food. It's about understanding the everyday breakfast habits that nutrition experts often encourage people to rethink as they grow older, and discovering practical improvements that fit real life. As Linda's story unfolds, you may recognize some of your own routines along the way, because the habits we'll explore today aren't unusual at all. They're remarkably common, even among people who genuinely care about their health. The first habit surprises many people because it often begins with foods that seem perfectly healthy at first glance. That's exactly why it's so easy to overlook. As Linda studied her breakfast more closely, she realized something important. Even foods that appear healthy on the surface can lose their balance when one key nutrient is missing from the overall meal. The first mistake many adults over 50 make is starting the day with too little protein. Without it, energy levels can drop faster, and hunger often returns sooner than expected later in the morning. Protein helps support muscle maintenance, satiety, and steady energy throughout the morning. Simple additions like eggs, yogurt, nuts, or legumes can help create a more balanced breakfast without changing familiar eating habits completely. Instead of changing everything, Linda simply added boiled eggs and a handful of nuts beside her usual toast. The difference felt small, but her mornings slowly began feeling more satisfying and steady. As her breakfast improved, Linda noticed another habit she had never questioned. Something she believed was healthy every single morning might actually be affecting her energy in ways she had never considered before. Many people choose fruit juice thinking it is the same as fruit. However, juice often lacks fiber, which helps slow digestion and supports more stable energy compared to eating whole fruits instead. When Linda began choosing whole oranges instead of juice, she noticed she felt fuller for longer. The simple change required no effort, yet created a more stable and satisfying breakfast experience overall. Another common breakfast mistake is relying on foods that contain hidden sugars. Many packaged breakfast items appear healthy, but can quietly increase sugar intake, which may lead to energy crashes later in the day. Linda learned to look beyond the front of packaging and focus on ingredients and nutrition details. This small habit helped her better understand what she was actually bringing into her kitchen each week. Over time, Linda realized these changes were not about perfection. Each small improvement built confidence, making healthier breakfast choices feel easier and more natural, without strict rules or complicated planning. As the days passed, Linda noticed something subtle. Her mornings no longer felt rushed or automatic. Breakfast slowly became a moment of awareness, instead of something she simply completed before starting her day. Another overlooked breakfast mistake is not getting enough fiber. Many adults focus on protein or calories, but forget that fiber plays an important role in digestion and feeling satisfied after meals. Linda began adding oats, berries, and apples more often. She didn't change her entire diet. She simply made small additions that naturally increased fiber without feeling restrictive or complicated. Many people over 50 eat breakfast too quickly, especially on busy mornings. When meals are rushed, the body has less time to register fullness, which can affect how satisfied someone feels afterward. Linda began slowing down her breakfast, even if only by a few minutes. That small pause allowed her to enjoy flavors more fully and feel more aware of when she was actually satisfied. Over time, Linda noticed her energy felt more stable throughout the morning. There was no sudden spike or crash, just a steady rhythm that made her daily routine feel more manageable. Another common mistake is relying on sugary breakfast foods. While they may taste enjoyable at first, they often lead to energy fluctuations that can affect focus and comfort later in the morning. Instead of removing sweetness completely, Linda started using fruit and natural flavors like cinnamon. These small adjustments helped her enjoy breakfast without relying heavily on processed sugary options. Breakfast slowly became intentional rather than automatic. Linda wasn't following strict rules. She was simply paying attention, and that awareness quietly transformed how she experienced the first meal of her day. By now, Linda had changed several small habits without even realizing how much they added up. But two final breakfast mistakes remained. Ones that had nothing to do with food itself, but with attention and awareness. Linda began noticing something important. It wasn't just what she was eating anymore. It was how present she was while eating. That small shift quietly changed how her mornings felt overall. One common mistake is multitasking during breakfast. Watching screens, checking messages, or rushing through emails can reduce awareness of hunger and fullness, making it harder to enjoy the meal fully. Linda made a small change. She placed her phone away from the table during breakfast. At first it felt unusual, but soon she noticed more calm and clarity in her mornings. Another overlooked habit is not drinking enough water in the morning. After several hours of sleep, the body naturally becomes mildly dehydrated, which can affect energy levels and mental clarity. Linda began starting her morning with a glass of water before coffee. This small habit felt simple, but it helped her feel more refreshed and ready for the day. Many adults skip consistency in their breakfast routine. Eating at irregular times can sometimes affect how the body anticipates energy needs throughout the morning, and may lead to unpredictable hunger patterns. Linda didn't create a strict schedule. Instead, she simply began eating breakfast around the same time each morning. That gentle consistency helped her body settle into a more predictable rhythm. The final mistake is expecting breakfast alone to carry overall health. While it plays an important role, it cannot replace movement, sleep, hydration, stress balance, and other daily lifestyle habits. Linda began to understand breakfast was just one piece of a much larger picture. It supported her day, but it didn't define her health on its own. For the first time in years, Linda stopped trying to perfect breakfast. Instead, she focused on enjoying it. That simple shift made her mornings feel lighter and more peaceful. David noticed the change too. Linda seemed calmer in the mornings, less rushed and more present. Their breakfast table slowly became a space of quiet conversation instead of hurried routine. These small breakfast changes slowly influenced other parts of Linda's day. Walks became more regular, meals more intentional, and daily routines felt easier to manage overall. Linda never changed everything at once. She simply became more aware of small habits. And over time, those small habits quietly reshaped the way her mornings and her days felt. Months later, Linda no longer rushed through her mornings. Breakfast had become a calm starting point, setting the tone for a day that felt more balanced, intentional, and easier to manage. David noticed the change in small but meaningful ways. Linda seemed more relaxed, more present, and more engaged during their conversations, especially during breakfast when the day first began. These breakfast habits didn't stay limited to the kitchen. They gradually influenced how Linda approached the rest of her day, walking more, choosing simpler meals, and feeling more in control of her routine. Linda realized something important. It wasn't any single breakfast choice that transformed her mornings. It was the combination of small, consistent improvements that quietly built a healthier and more enjoyable routine over time. You may already have some healthy breakfast habits, or you may recognize a few areas where small improvements are possible. Either way, change doesn't require perfection, only awareness and consistency. Experts often emphasize that long-term health improvements usually come from repeated small behaviors rather than dramatic changes. Breakfast is just one place where these habits quietly begin each morning. Linda no longer questioned every breakfast choice. Instead, she trusted the simple patterns she had built. That confidence made her mornings feel lighter and far less stressful than before. Breakfast became something Linda looked forward to rather than rushed through. It wasn't about perfection or strict rules. It was about starting the day in a way that felt peaceful and sustainable. Looking back, Linda understood that breakfast was never just about food. It was about how she began her day, how she treated herself, and how those small choices shaped everything that followed. The most important lesson wasn't about avoiding mistakes completely. It was about becoming aware of them, making small adjustments, and allowing those changes to build over time. Healthy aging is not defined by a single meal or a perfect morning. It is shaped by hundreds of ordinary mornings where small choices quietly support the life you want to live. If this helped you see breakfast differently, consider sharing it with someone you care about. And remember, small changes today can quietly shape a healthier tomorrow.